Okay.
So please go ahead.
Good morning. Yes. Good morning. Good afternoon. Thank you, viewers. Apologies, we're a little bit behind schedule. My name is Adedoyin Adebayo. It's LinkedIn Live again, Performance Tools LinkedIn Live with Adedoyin Adebayo. This is episode 10 of the Performance Tools LinkedIn Live. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. Wherever you may be, please go ahead and tag someone. Let's know I'm watching from Lagos. I'm streaming live from Lagos, Nigeria. I am thrilled again to connect with Dr. Charan, the legendary business thinker, New York Times best-selling author, award-winning former Harvard Business School professor, and author of about 30 books. Dr. Ram has worked with high-profile companies such as GE, Novartis, Verizon, Honeywell, KLM, among several others. He has coached and served as business advisors to some of the top CEOs in the world. So, Dr. Ram, thank you so much for another opportunity.
You're frozen.
Yeah, thank you. Another opportunity to have a conversation with you one more time. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here, and I like people to be going forward. The world has great opportunities, and we keep building new advantages. We have a bright future.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Ram, for another opportunity today. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here. I want everybody to know.
Thank you.
The future is very bright.
Yes, thank you. I mean, I always like your your positive outlook to things, to the environment of business and all that. I think it will be good to start almost immediately. Maybe you just want to have few seconds or under a minute to quickly connect with our viewers. Would you like to just quickly introduce yourself, Dr. Ram?
Yes. So, Adedoyin, the thing I'm focusing now is the world has changed in a major way. Pandemic, digitization, technologies, and more importantly, obsession to serve each customer individually.
Great.
That's a big deal. And now we're also focusing on the inequality. There's a big gap in the top strata and the middle and the bottom strata in their income, in their social mobility. And then now there is a huge push for sustainability of the environment. And that push is big. And lastly, the development of the stock markets, capital markets, where you may have zero revenues. Your market value can be $1 billion. All these are new things that did not exist 10 years ago. And the world is moving in a very positive direction. So we got to think about our new business models and new competitive advantage.
Great, thank you so much. I think let me ask a question around the digital revolution. COVID-19 crisis actually forced every company to look at that digital option. And the like you said, competition is getting fiercer. In your latest book, the Rethinking, well, not the latest anymore anyway, because of the one you released about last week or something. So in the rethinking competitive advantage, you laid out 6 principles for any organization who wants to compete in this period. So let me ask, what are the 3 most important of these principles for businesses and organizations who want to rethink their competitive advantage in this digital world? I'll probably also like to share my screen so that people can see those principles that we're talking about.
Let's do that.
Yes, I'll do that in a minute. I just want to quickly do that so that people can see the idea. Yes, I have it here. Yes, this is what I have.
That's right.
Yes. So if we have to look, I mean, because of the time, we may not be able to look at all these rules or principles that you just, you came about. I put it here that Charan's 6 new rules of competitive advantage. So let's probably look at the 3 most important,
Okay.
Dr. Charan. Yes.
So number 1 is the first one. A personalized consumer experience is
Okay.
key to the exponential growth. This is
Fantastic.
what Amazon began to do in 1997. Each customer is unique. We have data on each customer. We are able to predict what the customer will need. We measure customers' convenience. It is better, cheaper, faster. This is the most critical part, and you cannot do that without machine learning, algorithms, and digitization. In pandemic, those companies that had done that front end of the business on a digital personalized basis, they benefited. Those who did not, they suffered badly. Now
Badly.
they're realizing it's a must. So if you have not done the digitization of connecting with the customer, and then you're creating data and creating single source of that data to everybody, and then using machine learning to diagnose it, to find patterns, to use for forecasting and prediction, and then improving the delivery to the customer, you will have a huge competitive advantage.
Advantage. Great.
That's number 1.
1. Yes.
Number 2 is that you alone are not going to win. You need to have you will have to have a ecosystem, partners. A partner may have a service or a product to the same customer, or a partner have a new set of customers, so your customer pool increases, or a partner has a new technology working with you, give you new innovation. Those are the kinds of things you get scale. So scale and advantage of innovation, or advantage of more data, or advantage of more service to the same customer is a competitive advantage. And that's
Advantage.
very important. So that's rule number 3 you have here. So of the 6, I chose those 2 first, that how you're doing that. And the rule that I will tell you next is the rule number 4. Money making is geared for huge cash generation and not the old way of earnings per share.
Per share.
Old way
Okay.
earnings per share is a number. Cash is cash. So when you look at Amazon, when you look at Apple, when you look at Microsoft, these are cash machines. The digitization, the algorithms permit measurement of cash, and that cash is, they use less cash in assets, inventories, receivables, and this way you run your business on the basis of cash. How much
Cash.
cash coming in, how much cash going out. Other things are very important, but these three are the major things to redesign your money making machine, your business model. And if you do that and your competitors, traditional ones, are not doing it, then you will have a huge advantage.
Great, great, great. I mean, I love this because it's beginning to look like a situation whereby as it is right now, companies will radically have to move away from the whole competitive advantage. For example, the hard assets that you have, the brands, and also the traditional way of having competitive advantage that we've always known, most
Yeah,
especially espoused by the likes of Michael Porter,
yeah. So
cost
let me explain
differentiation.
that to you. What Michael Porter, he was my student, did at that time was very good.
Oh, it
It
was
was
your
mass
student.
marketing,
Great.
it was mass production, mass advertising. It's now each individual customer, each individual approach, each individual promotion, each individual targeting. That's a big change. And second change is the speed. Digitization creates the speed. In those days, there was no internet and no speed. In those days, we did not have data. We now have data. These are big differences.
So now, what is the is this how things will look like? I mean, must all companies, most especially operating in this environment, must they go this route? Most especially SMEs. I've seen from your research that most of the companies that were used, Alibaba, uh, Facebook, Google, and all of that. These are big names, so to say. But how about the small businesses who probably may not have access to this digitization algorithm and what have you?
So let me mention to you a couple of things. And I'd like you to repeat that to the people. The algorithms are 100 years old and they are commoditized. A high school student is able to download. All the startups, bar none, they have no money and they're able to download these algorithms. They get the transmission from Azure and from AWS on a variable cost basis. These small companies are highly prized in the market, and these small companies have very limited amount of money. So we now have in India, in America, in China, small vendors. And these vendors have $100 million in sales, and they will come and put all this digital engine in your company. Many of them are able to do for $500,000, and you don't worry about it. You define what you want. They
Want
will come. Just like people build refineries, you get a contractor to build it. So the small companies do not have to worry about that
about
because
it?
there are 20,000 startups without money in the world, and they have algorithms. So they are available, they are commoditized, and they are available. They have been here for 100 years. They are not new.
So I mean, so any company, irrespective of the scale, irrespective of the of your geography, should begin to rethink
Anywhere.
their yeah, anywhere.
We have people in Paraguay, Uruguay, in Poland, in Hungary, in Czechoslovakia, all those places. And they're creating many, many suppliers. So people have to learn what they are. Get a local school to teach you. Or they go to school, their high school, undergraduates, already learning computer science, and they will be able to show you how to unload those.
That's fantastic. Let me ask this question around because of the situation that we're in right now, and because you serve as advisor to several Fortune 500 CEOs, you are so much respected. I mean, I read about the statement the late former GE, the late former CEO of General Electric, Jack Welch, said that you have this rare ability to distill meaningful from the meaningless and transfer it to others in a quiet, effective way without destroying confidences. Let me ask, what are the most important things you are telling leaders to focus on right now? And when I say leaders, not just the CEO or the board, but
Yeah,
leaders throughout the ranks. I mean, what are you telling them to
yeah.
focus the most important things?
Yeah, the key here is to go to the basics. So I'm saying three things. These basics are very important. The first one is connection with the customer and the user. Individual customer, individual user, digital connection. Get the data, analyze the data, become predictive. Without the customer, there is no revenue. There's no launch.
There's no launch.
Number two, build your business model on the basis of cash usage, cash inflow, cash outflow, and manage your cash. And number three, pandemic had taught you people. Without people, you will not win. Put the right people in the right jobs. They look simple, they look basic, but that's the foundation. We can use all kinds of theories.
People. Wow, that's fantastic. So it simply means that during this period, I mean, CEOs should focus on these three key things. That's good. So how about the leaders? I'm just also looking at the skills, the skills and traits that leaders will need during this time. Could
Yes.
you give us also like three or four of those skills and traits?
Yeah. So the skills, some skills are the leadership skills, some skills are business, and some skills are able to relate to the external environment, regulators, ESG, sustainability. These are the three buckets of skills. In the leadership skill is the courage to make the right decisions, courage to get out of the things you should not be, courage to take some risk in terms of putting some money on the new things you need to do innovation, do experimentation. You think longer term and short term and balance that. Business skill is how you make money. What's the sources of revenues? What's the gross margin? All that has changed now if you go on a cash basis. And the skill is that you have to work for the stakeholders, not just the stockholders. You got to work with the people who want sustainability. You have to work with the regulators. So there's more complexity. But the most important part for the leaders today, that their company, their organization has to move with this speed of change. The
Speed
speed
of change.
is very high.
You talked about perceptual acuity in attacker's advantage. Is this also important?
It's hugely important. The idea here is that you got to see the early warning signals, what's happening. You got to see the external trends, what's happening. Give you an example. Everybody's watching about EV, these vehicles. We have the battery as a real limitation, high cost, and it's a liquid electrolyte. Now you watch the trend. They have now found a solid electrolyte. It's moving. See, what is this research? When it succeeds, what will it do? Perceptual equity is a huge thing. Uncertainty is increasing and more complex factors are coming. So the leaders have to be looking on the outside, scanning the environment, and looking at the early warning signals.
In signals. Okay, let me ask this question around a statement credited to you that tomorrow's leaders shouldn't emulate today's leaders, that they shouldn't follow in their footsteps of those who hold the top positions now. Is this in terms of the career path that the present leaders, the upcoming leaders shouldn't follow the current leaders, or what exactly?
Yeah, I think the key point here is that the leaders who are today in the top jobs before the pandemic, they came through a system of bureaucracy. Most of them did not do individual customer orientation. They did not really had digitization. They did not face the same speed of change as it is now. They did not face so many complex factors like sustainability, stakeholders, more regulation, more governments coming into business. All that has changed. So the younger generation coming in is more tuned to it. And we say that you need to go on a different path than your predecessors.
So that different path has to do with does it have to do with their style of leadership, or what exactly? What kind of path?
Yeah, the key point there is beyond the style of leadership. It is the heft of leadership. It is what you are, that you have a courage. You can look at things on the outside. You select different kind of people. You focus on different priorities. You focus different kind of a money allocation.
Okay, let's discuss around talent. We'll talk about talent and a little bit of leadership. Then few things, personal stuff. Then we'll call it a day. So talent is very critical. Talent is a critical competitive advantage in today's environment, as we know. Yes, but you also talked about putting people first. You said that also when we started, that putting people first before the numbers. You also came up with the concept of the J3, the CRO, the CHRO, the
Yes.
CEO, and the
Yes.
CFO, that they
Yes.
must work together.
Yes.
In reality, sir, it doesn't work that way. How should organizations be able to manage these dynamics? Most especially, looking at how realistic is this?
So the key point here is that number one principle of leadership is recruiting the right people, putting them in the right jobs. And this is where many fail and a fewer number of people succeed. This is known for thousands of years. So leaders' job is to find the right talent, put them in the right jobs and conceive of right jobs, and then develop them. The rest will flow easier. So talent doesn't mean you have to have degrees. Many talents are inherent, intrinsic. You look for those and you say exactly what you need, or discover what the person's talent is and create a job for that.
For them.
Either way. That is the critical part.
Great. But also, what we have seen, the experience, because I work as consultant to organizations, And what I have seen is that even this so-called talent that we are talking about, a quite number of them are stuck in some jobs now. And it's so challenging for quite a number of people to move out, to get out of this rut, so rut in quotes, so to say. But if we direct this to this so-called talent, the hypo leaders, how can they manage to lead a better life, to get out of the rut in this current situation?
Yeah, I think if I got your question right, talent is not just leadership.
Yes.
It is business skills, customer skills. It is skills. A talent could be courage. A talent could be motivating people. A talent may be communicating to people. A talent could be judging people. Judging people is a skill. So people don't have skills of the digital age. They got to get these skills in digital age. For example, we now have in many companies 5 layers, 7 layers.
Layers, yes. The structure.
Structure. Today, with digitization, you only need 3, even if you have 10,000 people.
Wow.
That's a skill, how you do that.
You see, so the structure have no choice in this period than to collapse the organizational structure.
But you cannot do without digitization. To go from
Oh,
7 layers to 3, you cannot do that. It's not cutting layers. It's totally reorganizing the whole work.
the whole work and the business. Oh. So it's not about even cutting the layers, but it's about reorganizing the jobs.
So do you have in my book, Rethinking Competitive Advantage, a chapter on fidelity investments, which they took from 7 layers to 3. Totally reorganized, use the digitization, got it done.
Wow. So let's zero it in on the senior HR leaders. I mean, most of the time, these are the kind of people that we get to work with, and they play a very important role within the organization. So, if there's one advice that you would love to give to the senior HR leaders right now, what will that be,
Yeah,
Dr. Ram?
for the next 2 or 3 years, their first job is people, safety. Where they're going to work, how will they work, what are their mental issues, if any, frustration issues, if any. These are very important issues for CHROs to focus. Second part is going to be organization speed.
Organizational speed.
Speed is very crucial. Third, in the past, for 100 years, we have a job, find the individual. Today, find great individuals and construct a job.
Fantastic. Fantastic. But how about young people, young um, graduates who are just coming into the world of work in an environment that has gone, that has become so disrupted? Some graduated now, they are lost as to what next to do. So what advice do you have for them?
See, this is an advice for 1,000 years. It has never changed. It will never change. Each individual need to discover what is your talent, what you do well, what you love to do well.
To do.
Find it and get on that trajectory. Live with difficulties. Stay with it, but discover. Example, A tennis champion is not going to be a baseball champion.
Champion, true.
In baseball, unusual, same person being a pitcher and a batsman. In cricket, you know that.
True.
So a great singer may not be a great actor.
True.
So, as they say in the old vernacular, discover your calling. Get your
This
people around you to observe you, tell you what you love to do, what's your
to
natural
do.
talent, what is it that gives you huge satisfaction despite difficulties.
Difficulties. Okay, that's fine. Maybe let's just talk about two, three things about you. You built this career. I mean, I was just looking at your profile where you have been an advisor to several CEOs. You have worked with several organizations. I mean, the top of the organizations in the world. You coach the likes of Jack Welch, the likes of John Reed, and a quite number of names. How did you build this career from the scratch? Would you just take us through the how you built this career over the years?
Yeah, I think I did not have a career.
Oh, really?
I do not have a career. See, career comes when you are in a company. You join the lower rung of the ladder, you go up, go up, go up. I left that in 1977.
Wow.
I had a 10-year position at Boston University. I could have retired all my life there, but I chose to go into the real world. And I said, I must learn from practitioners. More I learn, more I discover how little I know. And then solving their problems, you learn more. That's how it evolved. There was no blueprint, there were no goals, there was no ambition, only ambition. Learn from practitioners.
Practitioners. There was no goal, there was no ambition. This is interesting.
In
Wow.
1998, I wrote until then no books. A CEO of Ford at the time asked me to write a book for him, which I did. And I have now completed 32 books.
Wow. 32 books. Out of that 32 books, I can proudly say I have about 12. I mean, I have about 12 of those books. I mean, I started with this execution,
Yeah,
one of the best books that you wrote with Larry Bossidy. I also saw that in most of your books, this is attacker's advantage. This is talent masters. I mean, I have talent masters here. I have leaders at all levels, leadership engine, and I think confronting reality, game changer, and a quite number of that. But I've seen that you really reference. It's just it flows like that. Your writing style is quite different. Also, I mean, what is so unique about this?
yeah. I think the key point, my mission in life is it has to be useful to the practitioners. And everything I write or talk or consult, it has to be useful to the practitioners, it has to be practical, and it has to be tested. No theories. Theories, I distill them, crystallize them, test them, find examples, and show that if you have a problem, tell me, I will try to solve you. But I don't go to somebody and say, I have a solution, where is your problem?
So you first of all listen to the problems, then you go back to develop solutions to address
Exactly.
those problems.
So this morning, before you called me, I talked to a customer, a client, a company, and I said, it looks to me that you have a window of opportunity to double your market value in 5 years if you really focus on that window. It was fantastic discussion. He's going to come back to me in 2 weeks because I'm able to show him the path that how he could double his market value.
His market
I
value.
initiated that. We discussed for 25 minutes, and he has never thought about this. That's creating opportunity for your clients. I sold
Creating.
nothing. I gave him no advice.
Wow, this is fantastic. There's this belief also, of there's this rumor out there. I think I saw it in one of the blogs or something that uh, a coaching session with you cost about $10,000. How true is this?
No, the key is not the dollars. It is something a person gets some real value, tangible value. It's not the money. You see,
It's not the
a
money.
good business person will always pay if they can see the real value, real monetary, measurable value. They pay for that. They love to do that.
So it's about value,
Value,
value, value,
measurable
value.
value, measurable value.
Measurable value.
Exactly. So when I say
Measurable
this
value.
morning that you can double this if you focus this way. That's 25 minutes. He's very happy.
Wow.
He'll come back in 2 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
He says to me, when you're coming to my country, I want a day. Take me through this.
A day. Wow. Wow. That's great. What that's great. So let's round up, Dr. Ram. So what are you working on right now that is really exciting to you? I know you just released a book last week, but what are the other things that you are working on right now, given your the age and the things that you have done? What legacy would you like to leave on the face of the heart? I mean, so many things, but something at this point, at this period.
You see, I am not bound by the concept of legacy. All my life from the early childhood was just do something simple and be practical. And we come and we go. We come with nothing and we go out with nothing.
We'll go with nothing.
And so that's what it is. Right now, what I'm working on is that I figured out through a collaboration with somebody that how HR can create 4 times the market value in 5 years. We figured out the tools and techniques, how they do that. I've studied 6 companies in depth where it has been done. And so that book will be coming out in late October.
Wow. You are churning out books. That is interesting. Well, that's it for this edition. Thank you so much, Dr. Ram. My guest, I know that there are quite a number of questions they will also love to ask, but because of our time, we may not be able to take that. Someone here, Yinka is saying that, I just want to take us through some of the comments that people have made. Recruit the right talent, put them in the right jobs, then develop them. This is a critical path for leaders. Joel Omeke is, I'm liking this session. My question, most companies don't access talent. Okay, so yes, let's take 1 or 2 questions here, Dr. Ram. So what will you have for them to harness this potential source of competitive innovative advantage? It says here that my question, most companies don't assess talent. So talent assessment now, and it's asking, what will you have for them to harness this potential source of competitive innovative advantage?
Yeah. So I really think about learning about a talent. Don't make it too complex. You focus only on one question and ask the person, observe the person on that question. And the question is, what is it this person really good at?
Art.
He's good at five things. She's good at five things. Isolate that. Look at them explicitly. See which ones we need to grow, how to grow them. We see in the kids in India, girls about 6, 7 years of age, and they see in the school who can do great dancing. They identify them very early. So identify what you do naturally well, and you love it. And then we explode it, nurture it, broaden it, go through experiences. You see people take their kids to piano playing, and then they say this person has a natural talent. Some people have natural talent for numbers. In India, they are known, I'm sure in Nigeria, you've known some of the Indians who are very natural in doing the numbers.
Exactly.
And they run businesses.
Wow, that's interesting. That I mean, that's very profound. Of course, I know. I know. Also, you were in Nigeria about a couple of years ago. That was 2003. I'm sure you enjoyed your stay in
I
Nigeria
did.
at that time.
I did.
You did. You
You don't
did.
do fancy stuff because people who are doing assessment, they have tools and instruments, but they have never managed anything. They never selected people and judged their own thing and deploy them. You have to do as a line person.
So,
Don't worry about negatives. Just say, am I accurate judging in knowing what this person is good at?
art.
And you can ask anybody about that person. Say, no negatives. Tell us what is he good at, and then cross-check it. Everybody will tell you that. But then you got to crystallize it in depth, what it is that you are listening, you are hearing.
So, most of the time we run after assessment. Are you then saying that assessment we should downplay it and be more real, be more face reality about what this person is
Exactly.
good at?
Now, if you want to get assessment by third parties, get it, but then isolate again. What are they telling this person good at? Are you clear? Is that specific? Is that observable? Is that verifiable? No two human beings are same.
The same. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Ram. It's quite interesting. I mean, comment from people. Let me just show a few. Someone is asking, Carlo Michael is asking here, what are the first two things any startup should do to identify and secure competitive advantage in a digital world? I mean, it works in the digital space. So, I mean, that's more like a question so key to him. What are the first two things any startup should do to identify and secure competitive advantage in a digital world?
So the key point is connect yourself with each customer through the use of digital technology, use that data, analyze that data to be predictive and doing the last mile service and get ahead of the curve. And second, manage your business on a cash basis so you get the truth, what's really happening, and get the data of all the silos you have through one single source so that everybody can use that data and have transparency to it. You do those two things first, you get going if you have not been doing.
Doing it. Thank you so much, Dr. Ram. On that note, I'd like to bring this LinkedIn Live to a close. Thank you so much. I mean, this is our second time. This is my second time of coming to you. And every time I come to you, you always give me that listening here. It's really, I mean, it's a joy for me that this time around it's live, not a telephone call. We've always had telephone call, but this time around it's live. I most appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here. And
Thank you
please
so
arrange
much.
time, anything you need. I'll be happy to work for you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.